In 1983, Kane Bai returned from the army to marry me. At his request, I gave the job opportunity to his sister-in-law Lux Chu. I have been a widow in my hometown for 30 years, taking care of his parents. Then I found a chance to visit him in the army. Only then did I realize that our marriage was just a scam. He and Lux Chu had a pair of children. Seeing that the two kids are already around 30 years old, I had a fight with Kane Bai. He sent me to prison under the pretense of destroying a military marriage. I died in prison from a serious illness after years of hard work. When I opened my eyes, I had returned to the moment when Kane Bai proposed to me. He was saying the same words as in the previous life. I can marry you, but you have to give the job opportunity to Lux. She needs this job more than you do. I'm afraid the first thought that comes to mind is to tear apart this black-hearted face. I looked at the handsome and elegant man in front of me. His eyes were filled with disgust for me. With no hint of shyness that usually accompanies confessions, I know I have truly been reborn, and I was overwhelmed with excitement. When I didn't speak, Kane Bai thought I was too happy, and there was no smile on my face. He asked coldly, "Do you understand what I mean? If you want to marry me, you have to give up the job to Lux. She needs this job more to support herself. Your parents are both workers, and you'll have other opportunities in the future. There's no need to insist on this spot." Kane Bai's words seemed to be blaming me. But what right does he have? In my previous life, I had a secret crush on Kane Bai for 3 years. When he proposed to marry me, I accepted without a doubt. After hearing about Lux Chu's situation, I was even more soft-hearted and gave her the opportunity that belonged to me. Lux Chu was sent to the military hospital in the area where I was supposed to go. After the director found out, he thought I was ungrateful and never gave me any promotion opportunities again. Later, he even found an excuse to transfer me from the doctor position to a nurse. He also said it was Kane Bai's idea, wanting me to take better care of my family. Since then, I have been holding a marriage certificate, working as a small nurse at home to serve Kane Bai's parents. Kane Bai always uses being busy with work as an excuse, only coming back once every 2 or 3 years, and each time he doesn't share a bed with me. He said it's out of respect for me, not to treat me like a nanny. He also said that sooner or later he would give me the dignity I deserve. I have been a widow for 30 years, taking care of Kane Bai's parents before finally packing up and going to the military to find Kane Bai. I thought what awaited me was dignity and Kane Bai's concern. Unexpectedly, I saw Kane Bai and Lux Chu holding hands in the military, with a pair of children calling them parents standing beside them. Seeing the 2 children who are already nearly 30, I realized I had been completely deceived. Finally confirming that Kane Bai married Lux Chu behind my back and has a family and children, I became the biggest joke, angrily rushed forward and slapped Kane Bai and Lux Chu. Kane Bai protected Lux Chu and pushed me to the ground. I was taken to jail by the guards. I explained the situation to the leader, but Kane Bai said I was unilaterally pestering him, and the marriage certificate was also fake, made by someone I found. It was only then that I realized Kane Bai never intended for me to have a good reputation. He used me so thoroughly that even the dirty reputation at the end would be pinned on me. I snatched the marriage certificate that I had looked at countless times and was already a bit worn out. The cherished memories of the past now stung my eyes. In front of everyone's surprised eyes, I used all my strength to tear up the marriage certificate, angrily threw it at Kane Bai, and cursed him to have a miserable death. He said I was crazy, and also said that I was shamelessly clinging to the Bai family just to pressure him into marrying me through public opinion. He only goes back once every 2 or 3 years, mainly to avoid me bothering him, and he dares not take Lux Chu back. Fearing I might become emotional and hurt his wife and children, he told the leaders that he had been kind enough to me, but the leaders accused me of destroying a military marriage and forcing the death of 2 elders, almost sentencing me to death. Later, I don't know who begged for mercy, which caused me to spend 10 years in prison. I curse Kane Bai and Lux Chu every day in prison, hoping they go to the 18 levels of hell, taking their children with them, due to years of hard labor. My in-laws treated me harshly, and my health was at its limit. I suffered a heart attack in prison, and when I died, perhaps my resentment was too heavy. I was reborn, and even heaven has finally opened its eyes. This time, I will make Kane Bai and Lux Chu fall into an abyss of despair. Did you finally understand what I meant? Kane Bai saw that I had been staring blankly, and finally lost patience, asking me coldly. I calmed my desire to kill Kane Bai, and angrily laughed. I understand. But you misunderstood. I don't have romantic feelings for you, so I can't marry you. As for the job opportunity, since you want to help your sister-in-law so much, you should use your connections to help her transfer. My opportunity is earned through my own strength, and I have no reason to, nor can I, give it to anyone who uses connections. I sarcastically said that Lux Chu, whom Kane Bai mentioned, is just a fool. After finishing speaking, I didn't look at Kane Bai's ugly face and turned to leave. I can't stand looking at this face for even a second. I was so afraid I couldn't help but go up and tear apart this face that makes me hate. Kane Bai took a few steps forward to stop me. He didn't even want to touch me and said with a very disgusted tone, "You just want to marry me. Now what are you pretending for? Don't think that your background is good, so you can tease others at will. I'll tell you, there's only one chance. If you don't cherish it, after today I won't mention marriage to you again. Don't regret it." He also got annoyed. I only remembered that Kane Bai came to see me a few days ago because of his attitude. It was just to make me give up the job opportunity to Lux Chu. I pouted and told him that as long as he married me, he could give the transfer opportunity to Lux Chu. He truly loves Lux Chu. He even wants to marry me for her, even though it's fake, but it still made me feel sick. Hearing him say that, I only felt that I deserved it. His humiliation made my mind clearer. This scumbag, I must make him pay. I took a few steps forward, and Kane Bai instinctively took a few steps back, distancing himself from me. I couldn't tell in my previous life that he was so rejecting of me. I thought it was respect, but I was really blind. Kane Bai, with your attitude towards me, I really doubt whether you truly want to marry me. Kane Bai's body stiffened for a moment. He looked at me, then suddenly clenched his fists, still speaking in a cold tone. If you still want to marry me, give me your household registration book. I'll have someone go get the marriage certificate tomorrow. As for the photo, due to the tight schedule, we won't take one for now. After getting the certificate tomorrow, I need to return to the army first. The banquet won't be held either. But regarding the job opportunity, you need to clarify this with your dean today. I sneered inwardly. This man, his tricks for dealing with me are the same. It's just that I was too stupid in my previous life, never suspecting him and Lux Chu at all, thinking of how considerate I was of his hardships. I immediately gave up my job opportunity to Lux Chu after getting the marriage certificate. Now I understand, in the previous life, it was both of them who set me up. Perhaps the two of them left together. What a perfect pair flying together like mandarin ducks. It unexpectedly turned my originally beautiful life into a tragic world, and I spent my whole life making wedding dresses for them. I hate the itching in my gums, and I said firmly, I won't marry you. I was just joking with you before. I'll say it again, I have no romantic feelings for you. I also can't give up my job opportunity to Lux Chu. If Lux Chu wants it, she should improve her work skills. I believe the old director's judgment is the fairest and most just. Favoritism is not our family tradition. When I said I wouldn't get married, Kane Bai hadn't reacted yet. I was just annoyed. But when I said I wouldn't let her work, Kane Bai's face darkened. He said coldly, "What do you mean? Relying on your good background, you think you're superior to others. If it weren't for your family background, do you think your medical skills could get you this opportunity? Lux has never been inferior to you. Did your parents help you get this opportunity? Is this your family tradition? My medical skills are highly praised by patients in the hospital. The director asserts that I am the most promising among the younger generation. As long as I keep working hard, I will definitely be able to benefit others. But in my past life, after Kane Bai and I registered our marriage, the director also became cold towards me. I can only struggle in the nurse position. Never having the chance to enter the operating room again, I can only envy others saving lives. I have saved people in my dreams more than once, but upon waking, I realize I am just an ordinary person trying to please my husband and in-laws. The hands that once held a scalpel have long been roughened by household chores. Kane Bai really never looked at me from start to finish, and he also doesn't look at my parents. in my previous life, I severed ties with my family to marry him. I only went back to see them once my parents had passed away. My parents still cared about me until they died, and they left me a lot of inheritance. I went to find Cain with the inheritance, but unexpectedly, I ended up in 10 years of prison. Cain said I was just being unreasonable, even daring to criticize my parents. I couldn't stand that. I took advantage of Cain by not paying attention, took a few steps forward, and raised my hand to scratch his face. I only regret not having long nails, so I couldn't completely disfigure him. Cain's face hurt terribly. He pushed me away forcefully. I staggered a few steps and steadied myself, glaring at him with hatred. Cain was frightened by my gaze and actions. He nervously said, "You're crazy," I shouted outside. "Someone, come quickly and see, Cain is being a hooligan. Hurry and call someone for me." My voice attracted some people to come over. Cain covered his face and glared at me before quickly leaving. I spat at Cain's back as he walked away. Raising my eyes, I met the curious gaze of the man outside the low wall. The others had all dispersed, only he was still standing there. I rolled my eyes at the man, transferring my anger towards Cain onto him, and said in a very bad tone, "What are you looking at? Haven't you seen a beauty going crazy?" After saying that, I turned around and went into the house. Still muttering under my breath, "Bad luck. I wonder if the person surnamed by has any viruses on him, and I need to disinfect. These days, there's no rabies vaccine. I have to be careful." I heard a light laugh coming from behind, and I turned my head to glare at that person. "Why haven't you left yet? Do you want me to draw a map on your face too?" The man with a good temper casually carried over a can of food and candies, and with a gentle look in his eyes, said to me, "I am Cold Teacher's student, named Liang Yuzhe. I am here to see Cold Teacher. May I ask if Cold Teacher is at home?" I immediately blushed and explained, "I wasn't being unreasonable just now, it was the guy surnamed by who was bothering me. My father has taught me very well." The more I explained, the more confused I became. Under the man's smile, I blushed even more and lost my composure. Saying, "You, come in first," I led him inside, and his voice remained gentle as he said, "Cold Teacher and the matron should have mentioned me." I took a careful look at him, smiled and offered him a seat, saying, "My parents often mention you, saying you resemble me more than they do. They did mention a few days ago that you would be coming back. Brother Liang, please sit down, I'll go make you some tea." I was really happy and took out the tea leaves my dad treasured. In my previous life, I hurt my parents deeply, and after marriage, I didn't live a happy life either. So I had no face to go home and see my parents. I later heard that Liang Yuzhe visits my parents every year, and the hospitals after my parents' serious illnesses were all arranged by him. I secretly went to see my parents and saw Liang Yuzhe staying with them overnight. At that time, I was really grateful to him. I also went to the temple to dedicate a memorial tablet for him. My father once said that Liang Yuzhe was his most proud student. But unfortunately he later dropped out and joined the army. I saw him when I was a child, but I can't remember what he looked like at that time. I only remember that his family was very poor, he was an orphan, and after his parents died of illness, he lived with his grandmother. Later, his grandmother also passed away, and my father sponsored him to attend middle school. "Brother Liang, would you like some tea?" I smiled as I placed the tea beside Liang Yuzhe's hand. His name was still changed by my father, saying that although he is gentle and refined like jade, he is actually stubborn and unyielding at heart. I hope he can be immersed in the fragrance of books, with both his inner and outer selves gentle. Liang Yuzhe chuckled and teased, "Haven't seen you in so many years. You've gone from a little troublemaker to a big troublemaker. Still so good at fighting." His tone inexplicably carried a hint of pampering, burning my ears with its warmth. "I've been mischievous since I was a child. I'm the only girl in my family. My parents spoiled me and let me do whatever I wanted. I played with the rough kids in the courtyard every day, fighting all the time, and getting reported was common. I didn't hit people randomly. I haven't fought since graduation. I'm a doctor. I know what's appropriate," I explained as best as I could. Afraid of leaving a bad impression on him, Liang Yuzhe's eyes and eyebrows are full of smiles, and he suddenly asked me, Did the teacher say you're transferring to the military region hospital? I nodded, not understanding what he meant by asking that. Blinking my eyes as I looked at him, he explained, I'm in a nearby unit. If you need anything, you can come find me. I was in such a hurry to come today, and I have a meeting to attend later. Please tell the teacher for me that I agreed. I was stunned for a moment and asked back, what did you promise my dad? He looked at me with deep meaning, then got up and walked over to me. He is 187 meters tall, and I am 166 meters, so I appear small and delicate next to him. His shadow completely covered me, creating a sense of oppression as if I were wrapped in his embrace. I instinctively took 2 steps back. He smiled and said, I'll go first. Next time we meet, I'll catch up with Lyra. He pushed the door and left my house. I chased out to see if I could see him off, and saw him talking to his bodyguard. I didn't dare to go over, just waved my hand, and he also waved back at me. I suddenly had the illusion that my mom was seeing my dad off, and he had just called me by my nickname. I immediately felt a bit embarrassed and turned into the house. The bodyguard whispered to Liang Yuzhe, this girl has a really bad temper. Liang Yuzhe tapped his finger behind his back and said seriously, it's good to have a temper. Not to be bullied. Let's go, the guard asked puzzled. Major, aren't you here to propose? If you're not proposing, are you leaving? Liang Yuzhe pondered and said, isn't it popular now to fall in love freely? Dating first and then getting married is also okay. The guard was stunned for a moment, then quickly followed Liang Yuzhe's steps. Someone was knocking on the door outside. I thought it was Liang Yuzhe, so I hurried out. The moment I opened the door and saw the visitor, my pupils shrank. The woman in front of me isn't particularly beautiful, but she has the appearance of someone untainted by the mud. She is none other than Lux Chu, the beneficiary of the previous life. I calmly looked at Lux Chu with my arms crossed. She wasn't so impatient in her previous life. It must be because she saw a big difference in my attitude towards Kane Bai and thought there was no breakthrough with me from Kane Bai, so she came to find me in a hurry. Exactly what I wanted. Lux Chu directly asked me, Miss Lung, why did you refuse Brother Bai's marriage proposal? Is it because of me? I can assure you, I am just Brother Bai's adopted sister, so please don't overthink it. I sneered and said, Miss, may I ask who you are? I have no relation to Kane Bai, and it has nothing to do with you. I hope you speak kindly. Lux Chu looked embarrassed for a moment, and a hint of contempt flashed in her eyes. She stepped forward and said, Miss Lung, don't you remember me? The last time you went to see Brother Bai, you also saw me. I am his adopted sister, and my name is Lux Chu. Oh, I remember now. Kane Bai did say he has an adopted sister. You're not capable of getting a good job. I heard Kane Bai is quite powerful. Instead of arguing with me here, you might as well go talk to Kane Bai and ask him to help you. I think you also like Kane Bai. Instead of watching him marry someone else, why not fight for it yourself? Otherwise, if he gets married and you still try to get close, that would be a violation of military marriage laws, which is a serious crime. The inheritance my parents left me in my previous life was treated as the private property of the Bo family. The hatred I hold for dying in prison must be avenged. Thinking of this, I saw Lux Chu's gaze turn cold. This woman, looking fragile, seems as if everyone should protect her, even in the hospital. It's the same. When there's a problem, others step in. When there's a benefit, she rushes over, and she even has inappropriate relations with several male colleagues. Kane Bai has been abroad for many years and is not clear about her character. Later, he transferred to that military district hospital, and the two of them ended up together. But it also can't be ruled out that they're a bunch of jerks. Maybe Kane Bai just likes that kind of thing. I hope they can be locked together for the rest of their lives. I can't break up with Lux Chu right now. So I hold back my anger, turn around, go inside, and close the door. Lux Chu casually returned home. When she saw Kane Bai still sitting in her house, her eyes immediately turned red. Brother Bai, it's all my fault. Not only did I fail to clarify our relationship with Miss Lung, but I also let her misunderstand that I am dating you. Brother Bai, do you think she might be spreading rumors everywhere? How am I supposed to go out and meet people in the future? Lux Chu said as she covered her face and burst into tears. Kane Bai, with a painted face, immediately panicked and got up to comfort Lux Chu. Lux, Don't be sad, she probably isn't the kind of person to gossip, but if she tells others, I'll ruin my reputation. How can I get married in the future? Seeing Lux Chu still crying softly, how could Cain not feel heartbroken? He immediately assured, Lux, don't worry, if your reputation is damaged because of me, I will take full responsibility for you. After Lux Chu received the assurance, she wiped away her tears and said pitifully, Really, Brother Bo, you don't think I'm pitiful and are just fooling me, do you? How could that be? Lux, you're so kind. If I could marry you, it would be a blessing I've earned over several lifetimes. Once your work is transferred, I will definitely persuade my parents, and then I will marry you. Lux Chu lowered her head, her eyes filled with darkness, as expected. Cain still cares whether she has a good job or not. She already knows that all men in the world are the same, so she can only think of ways to get this job opportunity. Since I don't want to give up the job opportunity, she forces me to give it up. I went to work on Monday and suddenly noticed that my colleagues were giving me some scrutinizing looks. They even talked behind my back. Is it just because of my background? I even got this good job through connections. Sigh. Do you think there's no other deal behind this? It's because I look good. Naturally, I have an advantage in attracting others. Who are you talking about? I went up and grabbed the nurse who was just speaking to question her. The nurse looked embarrassed and said, I didn't say anything about you. Don't always assume everything is about yourself. Exactly, Miss Lung. They were just gossiping. It was harmless talk. Lux Chu doesn't know when he appeared, standing aside and speaking on behalf of others. The little nurse immediately straightened up when she saw Lux Chu. Dr. Chu, you have to testify for us. We're just talking about some women with ulterior motives. It's Miss Lung who is overthinking. These people keep calling me Miss. And I can guess what they're thinking. I forced a sarcastic smile and said, This is a hospital. If you want to be maids, go outside. What are you talking nonsense? Who wants to be a maid? I suppressed a smile and said coldly, Then keep your mouth clean. This is a hospital. No young ladies here. Please call me Dr. Lung. Dr. Chu, what do you think? Lux Chu's face showed a moment of embarrassment, then he smiled and said, Dr. Lung is right. We are colleagues. And we should help each other in the future. A few words shouldn't matter. Dr. Lung probably won't hold on to this. Right, the nurses also echoed, Exactly, Dr. Chu is broad-minded. If you ask us, this transfer opportunity should belong to Dr. Chu. The director is too biased. This makes us common folk wonder what future we have. Lux Chu's proud flash in the eye quickly disappeared. I know this is her scheme, encouraging others to fight me while she sits back and profits. Heroes don't ask about origins, blaming others for being talented while you willingly fall into decline. Some people, they won't even get 4 dishes in their lifetime. I finished speaking and was about to leave, but Lux Chu stopped me. Dr. Lung, do you dare to make a bet with me? Gamble. I was feeling excited inside. Lux Chu was about to take the bait himself. Lux Chu continued, It's a gamble on your medical skills versus mine, a gamble on the patient's praise for us. If I am better than you, please give up this opportunity for the transfer. You're better than me. Dr. Chu, your words are much more skillful than your art. Lyra Len, what is your attitude towards Lux? Cain doesn't know when he's coming over. He suddenly pulls me away, afraid that I will bully his good sister. Lux Chu leans in, pulling Cain's sleeve and says with a grievance, Brother Bo, it's my own lack of ability. It's only natural that people look down on me. I pouted. This woman is really pretending to be innocent. Lyra Len, I command you to apologize to Lux. You're just too much. Even if I can't marry you, you don't have to make things difficult for Lux. Is Cain's narcissism a bit too much? Cain, please clarify. It was your stepsister who challenged me, not me looking for trouble. If anyone should apologize, it should be her apologizing to me. Cain was stunned for a moment, then looked at Lux Chu. Lux Chu's grievances, tears welled up in her eyes. Her eyes looking at something clear and pitiful. Cain's heart softened. Brother I just want a fair chance to compete. I believe in my medical skills. Brother please also believe in me. Cain immediately stood on Lux Chu's side and said to me, Lux's medical skills are naturally better than yours. You know very well who you rely on to get ahead. I was so angry that I went up and grabbed Kane by, and slapped him when he was completely unprepared. Is getting a slap not enough? Do you want to be hit again? Did I give you face or give both of you face? If you're shameless, that's fine, but don't try to seek attention here. I hit Kane by, and things immediately escalated. It was noisy in the director's room. The director first called me in to criticize me. What are you causing trouble with them? If your medical skills are good, you should be more low-key. If you have the strength, do more surgeries. By the way, a senior official came today. So the surgery can't be sloppy. You do this one. The director highly appreciates my skills, so I perform all the important surgeries, but Lux Chu suddenly rushed in from outside and said to the director, "Director, you're too biased. You give all the opportunities to Dr. Leng. How are we supposed to grow as doctors?" The director frowned. I sneered inwardly. Practicing growth on patients. How could Lux Chu say such a thing? Some patients only have one chance to survive. Opening the belly is a fight between life and death, with no draws, only victory or defeat. Kane Bai also came in. Looking at Kane Bai's condition, the director pursed his lips tightly, and his eyes looked at me sternly. I feel guilty and dare not look directly at the director. Alright, since Dr. Chu is so confident, I'll let you handle this opportunity. But I want to say one thing. This patient is special, and you must not make any mistakes, otherwise, your career could be at risk. Lux Chu didn't take the director's words to heart. Instead, he assured, "Director, rest assured, my medical skills are not just child's play." After leaving the director's office, Lux Chu went to prepare for surgery. I didn't have any surgeries scheduled this morning, so I was planning to look at the patient's information that the director mentioned. Kane Bai blocked my way. "Are you happy now?" "What am I happy about?" "Oh, if you mean I'm happy to hit you, then yes. I do feel good after hitting you, so, do you want to sacrifice yourself so I can hit you twice?" I looked at Kane Bai with a rather provocative gaze. I was originally a thorny rose full of anger. In my previous life, because I loved Kane Bai, I completely turned into a parasitic vine he liked. But in this life, I want him to know that roses have thorns, and not everyone can touch them. Lyra Len, don't think that tolerating you once means I have feelings for you. It's you who likes me. Not that I forced you, so you knew all along, so you tarnished my feelings, spread my rumors. Kane Bai, you really make me look down on you. You don't deserve my affection. I don't like you anymore starting today. You don't like me anymore. Kane Bai's expression carried a hint of coldness. I nodded, yes. I don't like you anymore. I've already fallen for someone else. Kane Bai's cold eyes narrowed slightly. I stopped paying attention to him and turned to go to the office. But the director ran out of the office. "Quick, Lyra, Dr. Chu made a mistake. The patient is in critical condition now. You need to prepare for surgery immediately." I was stunned. This Lux Chu is such a fool. He made a mistake right at the start of the surgery. Could it be that the stomach wasn't opened properly? The director said he was going to change into a surgical gown. I pushed Kane Bai aside and sneered, "Is this what you call medical skill? What do patients mean to you? Are they just chips in a gamble?" Shameless. After saying that, I didn't look at Kane Bai's shocked face, hurriedly changed clothes with the director and went to the operating room. Lux Chu was already standing outside the operating room covered in blood, trembling all over. The nurses who spoke up for her today also stood by silently. The director and I performed a total of 5 hours of surgery in the operating room, finally pulling the patient back from the brink of death and sending them to the intensive care unit. I came out of the operating room completely exhausted, supporting the tired director to rest. At this moment, Lux Chu and Kane Bai leaned in and blocked the way between me and the director. "Director, I really didn't mean to. This time it was an accident." The director looked at Lux Chu with great disappointment and said, "Dr. Chu, for a doctor, there can never be any accidents at any time, or it would be a blasphemy against life. You are not suitable to be a doctor. I will reassign you to be a nurse, if the patient insists on holding you responsible. I hope you will take it to heart." The director was ultimately soft-hearted and preemptively dealt with Lux Chu, which can be considered as saving Lux Chu's life. Otherwise, when the patient wakes up, she won't be able to pass the demotion. But Kane Bai still wants to keep Lux Chu. He sincerely said, "Director, Lux didn't do it on purpose. It must be that the nurse provided incomplete information, which led to her misjudgment." "Yes, that's right. It's the incomplete information that caused me to lose my judgment." As soon as Lux Chu spoke, the several nurses who were preparing her documents all turned pale. "I don't indulge them both," and I directly said, "As a doctor, I don't even know where the problem is, and I still have the nerve to call myself a doctor." "Director, let's go. I won't talk to such confused people." To avoid getting angry myself, I helped the director leave, leaving Kane by grinding his teeth. Lux Chu cried and asked Kane Bai, "Brother Bai, what should I do now? I really didn't do it on purpose. The director usually favors Dr. Leng, so I don't get many chances to operate, which is why I made a mistake. Brother Bai, you must believe me." Kane Bai comforted Lux Chu, saying, "I believe you, don't worry, I will help you think of a way." Lux Chu hugged Kane Bai and said, "Thank you, Brother Bai." Several nurses pointed at them, and Kane Bai pulled Lux Chu away. Lux Chu clenched her fists. If she fails this time, she can't keep waiting anymore, otherwise Kane Bai would definitely kick her away. After work, I was pushing my bicycle and unexpectedly ran into Kane Bai on the road. He was standing in the wind, and he must have been waiting for a long time. I pretended not to see him, was about to ride away, but he grabbed the back of my bike and said, "Dr. Leng, let's have a chat." I impatiently said, "There's nothing to talk about between you and me." Kane Bai said, "I admit I underestimated your medical skills before, and I apologize, but what I want to say is, Lux is not a bad person. This time it was really an accident. So, can you tell the director about the responsibility for this?" I smiled. The night breeze was just right, and I believed my smile looked good too, so Kane Bai was stunned. Taking advantage of Kane Bai's daze, I reached out and forcefully slapped his face. Kane Bai staggered a few steps and let go of my car. "Are you awake now? Such a big face you have. Why do I have to listen to you? If you care about Lux Chu, you might as well take responsibility for it. Please avoid me in the future, or every time I see you, I'll hit you." Phut. After hitting him, my palm still hurt. But my mood improved a lot. I didn't see Kane Bai's deep and intense gaze on my back in the darkness of the night. From that moment on, his attitude towards me changed dramatically. By the time I realized it, I was already at the military hospital, and I encountered him twice. I was transferred here some time ago, and now I am adapting to the new hospital. Seeing Kane Bai once was an accident, but seeing him twice started to make me uncomfortable. "Hello, Dr. Leng. I am here for a checkup. I don't see urology. Please go to another department." I mock Kane Bai for not being a man. He is not angry, just says, "Lux will come to work in a few days. Hope you can get along well." No, does this man have a hole in his brain? The harsh words and slaps I mentioned can't fill his imagination at all. Kane Bai, looking at it this way, aren't you quite capable? I hope you and Lux Chu have a long and happy marriage, and that you have a noble child soon. I'm too lazy to bother with him. Kane Bai was blocking me, and he even wanted to reach out and grab me. I was so scared that I took a few steps back. "What are you doing? A gentleman uses words, not fists. Are you trying to hit me?" I hit you because you deserved it." Kane Bai pursed his lips and said seriously, "I only see Lux as a sister. Lyra Len, I found myself liking you, so I want to start over with you." I took a few steps back and looked at Kane Bai with a look of a lunatic. No. Did I slap him into a love-struck fool with just a few slaps? "Do you like this? Please, heavens, judge loyalty and treachery. He likes me, not you." Kane Bai continued, "You don't have to worry that I will like Lux. I only like you." My hair stands on end, and I turned to leave. Kane Bai shouted from behind, "Next time I have a holiday, I'll come back to propose to you at your house." "Are you crazy? I don't like you. Even if you propose marriage, I won't marry you." I don't know what Kane Bai is thinking, but no matter what, I won't have anything to do with him. If it has to happen, I hope it's him dying and me living. After leaving the hospital, someone called out to me, "Lyra." I frown. Not everyone can call this nickname. As soon as I saw the person, my imposing manner immediately subsided. I smiled and said, "Brother Liang, the teacher said you were coming, but I haven't had time to see you. Let's go." I'll treat you to a welcome dinner. When I saw Liang Yuzhe, I immediately started calculating in my mind. During dinner, I asked Liang Yuzhe, "Big brother Liang, are you married?" Liang Yuzhe paused for a moment as he scooped food for me, then placed my favorite spring rolls into my bowl and said, "No, I'm not." I bit my lower lip, and with a thick face, I said, "Then, can you marry me?" Liang Yuzhe looked up, with a smile in his eyes, and looked at me, making my face flush. "Well, because Kanebei keeps pestering me. I don't like him and don't want to give him the chance to bother me. So do you like me?" Liang Yuzhe's tone was very calm, and he asked very composedly. I was stunned, looking at Liang Yuzhe's stern and perfect face, and that commanding aura that naturally exudes authority. He's a wonderful man. Of course I would be attracted to him. In this lifetime, I don't want to be a widow. Finding a quality man isn't too much to ask. Right, I scooped some food onto Liang Yuzhe's plate and whispered, "I like you, so I want to marry you." Liang Yuzhe's hand holding the chopsticks tightened, and he suddenly asked, "Did you bring your ID?" "What?" I didn't understand. "Aren't you supposed to marry me?" "Perfect, I have time today, so I can go get the marriage certificate. As for the wedding and the betrothal gifts, I will find time to go back and make them up. What do you think?" His hand holding the chopsticks tightened even more, with his fingertips turning white. I touched my chin and said, "Sure." 3 hours later, Liang Yuzhe and I each held a red book. The wedding photos we rushed to take are also on top. "Brother Liang, shouldn't I change the way I address you? Then what do you want me to call you?" "Husband." Liang Yuzhe, his ears turned slightly red, and his gaze at me was deep. His voice carried a hint of a smile and said, "I've been on a mission these days. When I return, will I help you move?" I responded with a actually not in a hurry to live with Liang Yuzhe. "No, I am also quite anxious. After all, I don't want to be a widow in this life." Seeing Liang Yuzhe's excellent figure, I felt my nose heat up and almost had a nosebleed. After Liang Yuzhe went on a mission, I returned to my daily routine. Recently, Kanebei suddenly changed and hasn't come to bother me, which made me feel relaxed. But recently, some rumors have been circulating in the hospital about my private life. They said I seduced the officer, and there were opinions among the patients. Many patients, especially female patients, are unwilling to see me for treatment. Instead, they go to see Lux Chu, who is a nurse. Lux Chu's reputation is getting better and better. Everyone says she is beautiful and kind-hearted. Gradually, some people said I was a relationship client, relying on men to transfer to this hospital. The director was under a lot of pressure and asked me several times. I showed him my marriage certificate, and only then did the director relax. I came out of the director's office with the marriage certificate and ran into Kanebei. He looked at me with red eyes, his lips trembling as he asked, "Are you married? To whom? What does it have to do with you?" "No matter who I marry, I won't marry you." Kanebei hugged me tightly and shouted angrily, "You can't marry someone else. You're the one who seduced me first. You can only marry me." I struggled hard, pushing Kanebei away with my hand. "Are you crazy? I will stay single for my whole life, and I will never marry you." "Kanebei, you make me sick. You should go marry Lux Chu." Kanebei curled his lips and said urgently, "Are you jealous? Don't worry, I have no romantic feelings for Lux. I like you. Lyra, listen to me. Let's get the marriage certificate together, okay? I promise to treat you well, okay?" I angrily reached out and pulled Kanebei's ear, saying forcefully, "No, not at all. Kanebei, I don't love you. I have a husband now. If you keep pestering me, I will complain that you are destroying a military marriage." Kanebei was stunned by my words, his eyes filled with disbelief. He snatched the marriage certificate from my hand, looked at the person on it, and his pupils shrank. "How could it be him? Are you already with him? He's on a mission. And you and he haven't had a chance to be together at all." I find Kanebei disgusting. He used to say he didn't like me, and now he's meddling in who I am with. This man is typical of someone who wants it both ways. "Kanebei, I haven't done anything wrong to you. If you keep letting Lux Chu spread my rumors, I won't let you off easily. When my husband comes back, I will report you." After speaking, I snatched the marriage certificate from Kanebei's hand and turned to leave. I didn't see Kanebei's blood-red gaze and his fierce, greedy eyes at all. "I won't let him come back," Since you're married, being a widow should be fine. I won't let you be given to anyone. I thought I had made it clear to Kane Bai, and Lux Chu had indeed behaved herself. Lux Chu came to see me that day, asking for my help. You should have many means. Soldiers are special by nature. If you can tarnish my reputation, why not tarnish your own to achieve your goals? Will Kane Bai still not give you a proper status then? Lux Chu hesitated for a moment, then fell silent. I know she listened. I want them to fight each other. Sure enough, the next day, Kane Bai appeared in front of me looking all disheveled. I was really startled. There were ambiguous marks on his neck. Was it you, right? You made her do this. Do you take my love so casually? He also questioned me. I sneered. Even if I let Lux Chu find you, you have to be willing. Looking at you now. It probably isn't the first time, right? Why are you pretending to be a chaste saint now? Kane Bai's face was extremely grim, and he wanted to explain but couldn't find the words. Lux Chu came over, her neck also not fully healed. She supported Kane Bai's arm and looked at me with pride. Brother Bai, you were tired yesterday, so why did you come out? Will you come back with me? Kane Bai pulled Lux Chu's hand away, and Lux Chu started crying. Brother Bai, do you not want to take responsibility for me? I am innocent and followed you. You can't treat me like this. I was surprised in my heart. It turns out Lux Chu is still innocent. It seems Kane Bai is the one who got the short end of the stick, after drinking too much. Whether one is innocent or not is up to Lux Chu to decide. Kane Bai's face was so cold it seemed to drip with ice. He looked at Lux Chu as if he was meeting her for the first time. I will touch you. Didn't you drug me? Lux Chu turned pale. I won't expose you, and don't expect me to take responsibility for you. I like Lyra Len, not you. I only have sibling-like feelings for you. I rolled my eyes dramatically. But forget it, who has siblings doing this kind of thing? I said indifferently, you all chat, I still have patience. The two of them are pulling and tugging like this, and with this kind of appearance, Lux Chu has done his homework. Their reputation is now ruined. I really don't want to get involved. But Kane Bai pulled me and said, you are not allowed to leave. I want to clarify things with you. I find it funny. We already made it clear between you and me. Now what's being clarified is you and Lux Chu, right? But your affairs have nothing to do with me. My indifferent attitude left Kane Bai with no energy to stop me. He pulled Lux Chu and walked outside. Let's settle this. Brother Bai, I might already be pregnant with your child. You can't treat me like this just because of another woman. This reminded Kane Bai, and he had someone find contraceptive pills to give to Lux Chu. Meeting again, Lux Chu was glaring at me like a resentful wife. Are you satisfied now? My reputation is ruined. Kane Bai doesn't want to marry me. You've completely avenged yourself. I thought to myself, it's not enough. Then why don't you find a way to have a child? Use the child to tie the man down. Isn't that a good idea? Lux Chu hesitated for a moment, then gritted her teeth and left. After some time, I started to feel uneasy. Liang Yuzha said he would leave for a few days, but it has already been a long time, and I haven't received any news from him. I didn't dare to inquire about his whereabouts, but I was worried that something might have happened to him. That evening, the director called me and asked me to oversee a surgery. When I saw the person lying on the bed, everything went black in front of my eyes, and I almost fainted. The person lying on the bed is actually Liang Yuzha. No time to explain. Major Liang was ambushed, and his life is in danger. The higher-ups' order is to spare no effort to bring him back from the gates of hell. Dr. Lang, we still need your help to cooperate. I calmly nodded, thinking that Liang Yuzha must not die. Such a good person as Liang Yuzha. Have all the Buddhas I prayed to for him in my past life been in vain? Why do good people often face disasters, while bad people can go smoothly? I steadied my hand holding the scalpel. I must save Liang Yuzha. Since fate is unfair, then I will create fairness myself. We operated for a total of 8 hours and finally pulled Liang Yuzha back from the brink of death. After leaving the operating room, my legs went weak, everything went black in front of my eyes. And I fainted. When I opened my eyes, I saw Kane Bai's face. His face was somewhat ferocious, and he looked even more terrifying when he looked at me. You're awake. The tone was also very cold. This is my home. These two characters made me instantly feel terrified. Why am I at your house? Shouldn't I be in the hospital? I had someone bring you out. I can't stand you being with Liang Yuzhe. Not for a second. Liang Yuzhe better not try to take you away from me. Lyra, you're supposed to be my woman. He looked at me with almost perverted eyes, making me feel disgusted. Are you crazy? I'm already married. It doesn't matter. Liang Yuzhe won't make it through tonight. By tomorrow, you'll be a widow, and I will be your husband. I won't dislike you. It's me who despises you. You dog thing. It was you who attacked Liang Yuzhe. May you have a miserable death. Cain Bai slightly curled his lips and said with little smile, even if I die, I want to die with you. His words scared me. Why did Cain Bai suddenly love me so much? He must be sick. When he loved me, he didn't cherish it. When he didn't love me, what was he self-consoling for? But I am soft and weak, with no strength at all. I nervously looked at Cain Bai, and he said calmly, I only gave you some medicine. Don't worry. I won't hurt you. Once Liang Yuzhe is dead and we are married, I will give you freedom. Lyra, don't refuse me. You know I don't want to hear you refuse me, right? What are you going to do to brother Liang? He's a good person. Please don't hurt him. Okay, I suddenly had the thought of dying together with Cain Bai. If he doesn't die, will you marry me? Whether he's good or bad doesn't matter to me. As long as I marry you, he has to die. Cain Bai has completely gone crazy. I obediently said, I will divorce him and marry you. But I want a formal marriage. I want you to make it clear to everyone that I am not a third party in your relationship. Cain Bai's expression softened a little, and he looked at me with gentle affection and said, of course you are not a third party. I know you are an excellent girl. Rest assured, as long as you marry me, I will make you the happiest woman. I looked up and saw Lux Chu bringing in food from outside the door, and I showed a gentle smile. I believe you. What about Lux? Should we treat her as a sister? Cain Bai looked back at Lux Chu, seeing that her face had turned pale. He got up and took Lux Chu out. I sat anxiously waiting. Cain Bai came in quickly, but there was a suspicious scar at the corner of his lips, indicating he had put in a lot of effort to comfort Lux Chu. Lux won't become an obstacle between us. I will treat her like a sister. The only one I love is you. He looked at me absent-mindedly and suddenly said, when Liang Yuzhe dies, I'll take you to get the marriage license. Lyra, you are mine. I will never let other men have you. A chill ran through my heart. This man is really damn. It's best to die quickly. I don't want to suffer losses, so I try to be polite and coax him, making him feel distressed for me, so he won't continue to give me medication. Cain Bai looked unhappy when he returned the next day. He had been drinking all night. I learned from Lux Chu that Liang Yuzhe had been transferred to another hospital. It was moved to a place that ordinary people couldn't access. Great. The director listened to my suggestion. Now we just have to wait for Liang Yuzhe to wake up. Cain Bai still has some conscience and didn't force me, but the way he looked at me became more and more blatant. I know that if I don't save myself now, I will really fall into his trap. Although I can still take revenge, I will also be involved, which is not worth it. So I actively flattered Cain Bai, making him think that I had started to love him again, when he couldn't help himself. He wouldn't even touch me and instead went outside to find Lux Chu. Nearly a month has passed, and I found out that Lux Chu was pregnant. I provoked with words, letting Lux Chu let me go. Lux Chu agreed. When I ran out late at night, Cain Bai chased after me, but Lux Chu stopped Cain Bai from leaving. Cain Bai kicked him away, and Lux Chu, clutching his stomach, lay on the ground crying out, bleeding heavily. I ran away without looking back, not feeling sorry for Lux Chu at all. If I go back to save Lux Chu, I will never be able to escape again, and Lux Chu will also target me because of losing the child. Then I will be completely doomed. Cain Bai chased me onto the street, and I shouted for help. Suddenly someone stopped me, and after seeing who I was, they immediately said to others, "Found him. Quickly catch Cain Bai." Then I saw Liang Yuzhe. In an instant, my grievances flooded my heart, but I still worry about how badly he was injured. He came over wanting to hold me, but there were too many bandages, and he didn't know where to start. I held his hand and cried, "Why did you only come to find me now? I was bullied to death. It's okay now, it's okay. It was my fault. I won't let this happen again in the future." Liang Yuzhe's tone was full of concern. I'm a little embarrassed to do this in front of so many people. Cain Bai glared fiercely at Liang Yuzha and said, "You didn't die, you should be dead. Give Lyra back to me, she's mine." Liang Yuzha protected me in his arms and said to Cain Bai, leaking military secrets and harming comrades, you should go to jail and explain yourself clearly. I was taken back home by Liang Yuzha. I later heard that Lux Chu was discovered after a miscarriage, and her uterus was removed, barely saving her life. She heard that Cain Bai was sentenced and would spend over 40 years in prison, and immediately claimed that Cain Bai forced her, but no one believed her. Once she recovers, she will go look for her next employer. Her reputation in the hospital is getting worse and worse. The people seeing her are all some hooligan men. Later, Cain Bai's parents found out and caused a scene at the hospital. Everyone then realized she was a relationship-dependent person, lost her job, and had issues with her conduct, so she could only humbly return to her hometown. In her hometown, others knew she couldn't have children. Her parents found her a man with a child to be her second husband, but she spent her life being beaten and scolded by the older man. When she grew old, she was left uncared for, living in a thatched hut. One rainy day, a strong wind blew her down, and she was killed by falling debris inside the hut. She was only discovered after she had rotted away. After 2 years of marriage with Liang Yuzha, one evening after dinner, Liang Yuzha's passionate kiss on my eyes, full of desire for me, he clung to me and said, "Lyra, should we have a child now?" I pushed his shoulder. "You've had enough, we're old married couples now. Why are you so clingy? Wife, I want to kiss you." Liang Yuzha leaned in and kissed me. Someone outside called out, "Report to Teacher Liang, there's something to report to you." Liang Yuzha got up from my neck and said with difficulty, "Wait for me to come back." I looked at him and found it funny. Liang Yuzha really likes me. He said he thought I was cute since I was a child. At that time, he didn't want to take advantage of me. Later, I grew up, and my parents said they didn't trust others with my personality. They wanted him to accept me. That time, he went back to matchmake with me. If I agreed, he would propose marriage. Later, he married me just to use him to avoid Cain Bai, so he also went along with it, but gradually, he became greedy. He wants me to love him. He knew I confessed to the director in the operating room about suspecting Cain Bai and Lux Chu. The director listened to me and turned away Liang Yuzha. He said I am a lifesaver. He also said that he kept looking for me after waking up, but unfortunately Cain Bai hid me too well, and they couldn't find me. That day, they also followed Lux Chu to find Cain Bai. And that's how they found me. I touched my stomach and smiled. I am actually already pregnant. In this life, I did not grow old alone, and I sent my enemies to a place even more hellish than hell, the 3,000 ailments of the mortal world. Let's see how they endure them, and I, in the future, will live happily with my parents, Liang Yuzha, and the children. Cain Bai has never paid attention to Lyra Len. He thinks Lyra Len is delicate and has a lady's temperament, while Lux Chu is different. But gradually, Lyra Len became gentle and coaxed him, even saying she didn't love him, which made Cain Bai a bit anxious. Only then did he realize that he already had Lyra Len in his heart, but Lyra Len swore she would never turn back. Cain Bai never thought about having anything with Lux Chu. It was just that night he misjudged someone, and it turned out to be a huge mistake. When he woke up at that moment, he thought, "It's over," but he was still greedy, even though Lyra Len was unwilling. He still wanted Lyra Len, wanted her to love him wholeheartedly, with all her heart and eyes. Later, he clearly saw Lyra Len's attitude towards Liang Yuzha and realized that she really kept her promises. She indeed doesn't want him anymore. In all the later events, it was Cain Bai's greed, anger, and ignorance. It was only his own sins that caused many others to suffer. Unfortunately, Liang Yuzha, whom he most wanted to kill, did not die in prison. He heard that Lyra Len had a son and became a chief physician, which others highly praised. When he was gravely ill and close to death, he once wanted to see Lyra Len one more time in the hospital. Unfortunately, he only saw the hurried figure of Lyra Len leaving to undergo surgery, just like how she hurriedly missed him back then. But he understood that this missed opportunity would define a lifetime. Cain Bai finally exhaled that breath and died full of regret.